Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Career Spotlight Lunch and Learn. I am Petty Officer Wong with your local reserve unit, Her Majesty's Canadian Ship Queen. To start, a little bit about myself. I've been in the Naval Reserve since 2009, and I've been professionally trained as a cook. I went overseas with HMCS Toronto for the NATO mission Operation Reassurance back in 2015. Definitely was a great and memorable experience, and highly recommend those who are available to go to definitely try it out. Without further ado, here is what you will need to know about joining the Naval Reserves. So, in the Royal Canadian Navy, we have approximately 12,000 full-time and part-time sailors, along with around 3,500 support staff all across Canada. Your Navy is a versatile, multi-purpose, and combat-capable force, a critical mandate as a maritime power responsible to safeguarding, exercising sovereignty, and contributing to international and global security. Canada has the longest coastline in the world. Our ability to exercise our sovereignty around our whole coastline is very important. As you can see on the slide, some of the missions that the Royal Canadian Navy does includes humanitarian assistance, disaster relief, monitoring seaborne activities, deterrence, anti-terrorism, and full combat operations. So today in your Navy, we have two main fleets, the Pacific and the Atlantic Maritime Forces. Part-time or reserve-wise, we have 24 reserve units scattered all across Canada, all in the major cities in every province. If you have any questions about what the Navy does, you could always find a recruiter at your local reserve unit. Our fleet consists of 12 frigates, 4 submarines, 2 maritime coastal defense vessels, and 8 Orca training ships for the time being. Soon, there are going to be 2 brand new supply ships and 6 to 8 brand new off-the-line Arctic patrol vessels that will be joining the fleet in the coming years. So I'm going to give everyone a quick rundown of what we have in our fleet. We have 12 Halifax-class frigates. They're multi-purpose and are the backbone of the fleet. They carry a formidable array of weapons and sensors too. Next, we have the Victoria-class submarines. We have 4 of those in service. They can operate up to 45 days, and they are by far the most strategic military asset we have. So next we have the Kingston-class maritime coastal defense vessel. We have 12 of those in our fleet. They are primarily used for coastal defense, search and rescue, law enforcement, and fishing patrols. Next, we have the Orca-class vessels. We have 8 of those. They are primarily used for training, especially for the Naval Warfare Officer Program. Next, we have the Harry DeWolf-class Arctic and offshore patrol vessels. There's been 8 of these ships proposed, in which the very first one is in the water and has begun starting their basic familiarization training. These icebreakers are named after Royal Canadian Navy heroes, and the whole idea of having these is so we can enhance our capability in patrolling the Arctic regions. Next, we have the HMCS Oriole. This is a sail catch for sail training and public outreach events. This ship is the oldest and longest serving vessel that the Royal Canadian Navy has commissioned. In order for the Navy to effectively conduct maritime operations, the Royal Canadian Air Force provides a great support, and in doing so, they provide the CP-140 Aurora for long-range patrols, and the CH-148 Cyclone while we're at sea. The CH-148 Cyclone recently replaced the CH-124 Sea King helicopter. Your Navy works to prepare their sailors to be ready and to support the defense and security of Canada when the call arises. As you can see in these pictures, being in the Navy is not just about learning how to sail. Our work expands vastly into safety, security, information technology, mechanical systems, communications, and much more. All these various things are driven by our 4 core values: duty, integrity, loyalty, and courage. All right, so in this next section, I'm going to start off with a little introduction about domestic operations. We're always ready to conduct search and rescues, natural disaster relief patrols, and operations on the home front. Disaster reliefs, Arctic operations, all the way to more social-based interactions such as royal visits, Great Lake deployments. When we had the Olympic Games back in 2010, we took care of security on the water over in Vancouver. So on the other front, there are international operations. These type of operations are what allows members in the Navy to go overseas to perform their duties and their operations. And it's also a great opportunity to also go see the world. For example, back in 2014, HMCS Toronto made history as the first Halifax-class frigate to voyage into the Black Sea to conduct alongside patrols with the NATO fleet and as a partner in Operation Reassurance. Other notable operations would include Operation Artemis. As you can see in these pictures, we conducted operations for mass seizures of heroin and hashish over in the Arabian Sea. Similar to Operation Artemis, Operation Carib is also an international operation that mainly conducts mass seizures, but this time cocaine amongst one of the major items. We assist the American Coast Guard in prevention and disruption of illicit drug flows before it makes its destination. Aside from all the current deployment activities that your Navy is conducting, the Navy's got to stay up to date with the times. So in doing so, Canada has done so by ensuring that the next generation of vessels are ready to go when they are required. The DeWolf-class icebreakers are going to be providing us with capabilities with sailing into the Arctic as the northern seaways are opening. And as the time rolls on, ships will get old, like our frigates, and they will be due for replacement. As you can see on the slide, the Canadian Surface Combatant is one of the proposed ideas that the frigates will be replaced with. And in the near future, we will also be getting brand new supply ships in the shape of the Queenston-class joint support ships. So that is approximately what the Navy is all about. So if you're interested, you could absolutely do this on a part-time basis at your local reserve unit here in Regina. Here we have HMCS Queen located in Wascana Park. If you're interested, you will be able to find my contact information at the end of this slideshow presentation. So in order to join Her Majesty's Canadian Ship Queen here in Regina, there are 3 basic criteria in which everyone has to meet. First one is age. You have to be 16 to 56 years of age. If you're 16, you have to be a full-time student with parental consent. If you're 17, you only need parental consent. And then once you're past 18, you can sign off on your own. The next item is citizenship. You have to have Canadian citizenship. Unfortunately, at this time, permanent residency does not qualify as Canadian citizenship. However, once you get Canadian citizenship, you're absolutely more than welcome to apply. Education. Now, this can be a little bit tricky. Most occupations only require grade 10. If you're looking into more managerial roles, such as being an officer, then you have to be at least enrolled in a university degree program. So here at HMCS Queen, you can get yourself involved because we employ our members here locally. During the school year, so it's between September to around May, we offer part-time employment to everyone. These are mandatory requirements for everyone to attend. And it's very easy. It's every other Saturday, 8 to 4, and Thursday evenings if required to. During the summertime is when we offer full-time employment to anyone that is available to do so. New members, however, will need to find 3 weeks to go to Valcartier, Quebec to do basic training. And in their second summer, will have to find anywhere between 6 weeks to their entire summer to conduct their occupation training. There's no contracted service, so you're not signing on for a number of years before you can resign. If you find that you do not like this job, you could always put in a request to release, and within 30 days' time, you'll be cut loose. So this slide is very important for grade 12s and also grade 11s. If you guys are looking into attending some kind of post-secondary, whether it be university or a polytechnic, our members get what is called an academic reimbursement. What that is you could get up to $2,000 back in your pocket for the academic year, provided that you're an active serving member. This reimbursement maxes out at $8,000 for the following occupations are what is available in Regina. As you can see on the far side, the non-commissioned side, I have 9 different occupations that you can choose from. The majority of these only require grade 10. On the other side, on commissioned officers, especially for all the grade 12s, if you're looking into university, once you are accepted into a university degree program, some of these occupations could be open to you, depending on what program you go. So follow us on Facebook at HMCS Queen to keep up with your local reserve unit and what we have been doing. If anything interests you from the previous slide with all the jobs available, please contact me at 306-209-4343 through phone or text, and I'll go through all that information with you. If you wish to contact us through email instead, it will be jobs_queen@forces.gc.ca. Thank you everyone for your time. Hope that we will be in touch soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Phil, for that presentation. There were a couple of posts or a couple of questions that I posted that I thought might just initiate some discussion. You talked about the deployment opportunities, and we were just wondering, do sailors have a say in where they want to go, or is it basically where needed? You're on mic. We might have to unmic you. Phil, you're going to have to unmic yourself. Unmute.
Wait one moment.
There we go. Now we can hear you. Perfect.
There we go. Perfect. So for deployments, as naval reservists, we're not obligated to deploy anywhere unless you have to go on a course to further your career. Even then, it's voluntary on the basis that if you want to advance in your career, then you go and you make the time to go. So with deployments is you ask to go on a deployment. Similar to what I did, just got out of university. I didn't have to worry about a house, car, or anything of sorts like that. So I was encouraged to look more into the deployment that I went on to. Once I found a little bit more information about it, I just rose my hand and went, you know what, I want to go on this deployment to go out to the Mediterranean. And then it kind of just started from there. Now, there are other deployments that that members can volunteer for, and it's all on a voluntary basis for us. we ask, well, first of all, we find where the deployment is, what the deployment's about, and then if the member is interested, then they can basically raise their hand and let it be known that they want to go on to said deployment, and their name will be submitted for selection for that mission specifically. After that mission, they don't get drafted to a second one unless they ask for it. And then let's see, the second one is about specific career. So here at Queen, we offer 13 different occupations for members or for applicants. Most of those occupations, in reference to the PowerPoint slide about occupations, the ones that are on the non-commissioned side are mostly grade 10 as a minimum requirement, except for intelligence operator that want a grade 11 as a minimum. The commissioned officer side, commonly the naval warfare, logistics, and intelligence officer, they want you to be in university. Ones like chaplains, you're looking at, you have to have a master in divinity in order to apply for that one. But generally speaking, the first three are, you got to be in university. And also public affairs only needs to be in a journalism program for that. Wage differences between the various levels. So the great thing about the Canadian Armed Forces in general is that you're paid by the rank that you attain. So the more ambitious the individual is, the more opportunities they will be able to get noticed, climb up the ranks, and therefore get a better pay rate. Pay rate is all based on what rank you hold. If you want to get to a higher pay rate, you start from there. Typically, recruits start at $96 a day for their first year. Then they go up 3 levels to approximately $115 a day, assuming that they are still in the rank of a recruit. Once you become occupationally effective, that pay jumps because your rank will also jump. By then you're looking at around $150 per day for, whenever the member decides to work. On the officer side, because they're looking into more the management and planning side of the work, they start off at $115 a day, and once they become occupationally effective, they can climb up to $225 a day at the working level.
We were also wondering from the office here if they would train
train students to a journeyed level in the trade occupations that are related. So in mechanics, the other trade areas that you would cover within the Navy.
Okay, so there are some trades that our members can directly bypass the training courses. One of the big examples that I have and most memorable is students that get out of SAS Polytechnic, or they graduate from SAS Polytechnic's food services program. We have a learning assessment program where students with a skill set such as something like food services can apply for, and the system will recognize that training to be on par with what the military cook school would be able to train them up to, and they would directly bypass that that school and directly go into the working level. So instead of having to go to school, they can, if the member chooses, they could go to their very first base instead of having to be a student first.
Getting journeymen from the military.
So one thing that my assistant just raised up is the opposite way. So you can get into the forces with a diploma such as, for example, food services, and bypass the training and directly go into work. We can also look into doing the opposite thing where members, I'll use food services again as the primary example. Members that do a certain level of training, like myself, that's done all the way up to the supervisory level of training for food services, we can directly challenge the Red Seal qualifications for a civilian qualification as well. All right. Well, is there any other questions from anyone else?
Your presentation was so awesome that it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of questions being generated. Maybe also, I just wanted to have you address the different links that we're going to be posting on our YouTube channel as well. There's going to be quite a few that are specific, very short little blurbs talking about the trades or the application process, or maybe just give some of those key quick hitters too.
For sure. So the videos that I've provided to Renette, they are every single occupation that I offer here in Regina. The videos themselves are a quick information blurb about what the job entails, and members that are in the trade, they describe that occupation, and they kind of tell everyone why they enjoy what they do. So it gives a little bit of insight on the personal side of this is the job and this is why we like it. There's some other videos on there about, say, the application process, for example. And that will give individuals that are interested in applying to have a start to where to look for in terms of wanting to apply. Then there's some other tidbit videos about this year's the 110th year of the Royal Canadian Navy. Other videos include women in the forces and the importance behind that.
And maybe also address the PDFs, because those are printable, or they would be printable for teachers or counselors to hand over to students that are interested in that information.
Oh, yes. So there's a set of documents that I have provided to Renette for distribution, and those PDF files they're downloadable and they're printable for anyone that's interested in looking into more information about joining. I have little information booklets about what we do, how to apply. If videos on the YouTube page is not accessible, I do have trade and occupation sheets available to be printed on those PDF files, just to give everyone a quick little basic rundown of what the jobs are and what contacts can be made to me in order to find more information to clarify any outstanding questions.
So just a note about the PDFs, they won't be found on our YouTube channel because we can't upload that particular file, but just either contact us in the office or Petty Officer Wong, and we would get that information to you and to hand out to students.
Yeah. Email is jobs_queen@forces.gc.ca. So if anyone has any students that are interested in getting more information, fire me an email and I will get all that information to you. If you want the information a little quicker, you could always call or text me at 306-209-4343. I pretty much monitor that phone every day. So the moment I get that message, I can follow up either immediately or shortly after.
Awesome. I think, thank you so much for posting that, your email and your phone number in the chat if you want to take a look at that and get that down. I think we are so thankful, honestly, for this presentation, this opportunity to share with the information with us, and for the teachers that have joined us this noon hour. If there's no other questions, I think maybe we will just get everybody to sign off. But again, thank you to the teachers and the counselors that if you had students with you, just please indicate that in the chat, just for our own statistics. And thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for partaking in my presentation. Walking away. It feels so weird talking on my